Hello.
Hi.
Who are you?
So, my name's Caroline and I'm a speech and language therapist. I work here at Treloar School and we've known each other for quite a few years now, I guess.
6.
You think 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably actually. You joined Treloar's in year 9?
8.
Year 8. Oh gosh, even earlier.
20.
That sounds about right, yeah. And when you came, I think you'd come from a mainstream school, hadn't you? You'd had a little bit of time away and then you came to Treloar, and I started being your speech and language therapist at that point. Do you remember? Yeah, and we've worked together for a few years, but then quite recently you've moved to college and you've got a different speech and language therapist. Do you remember what it was like when you came in year 8?
Different.
Yeah, it was quite different. I think you just got your communication device at that point, hadn't you? Yeah.
And Corona.
Oh yes, it was it during Corona or maybe just before?
Before.
Just before. Yeah, and you had a lot of learning to do because you needed to learn what all the words were on your device. And I remember when you got here, I think your mum told me that you'd spent months just looking through all the pages and learning what all the words were because it was Corona. Yeah, there wasn't much else to do, was there? But actually, it was quite amazing because you'd done all of that on your own and then you arrived at Treloar's, and we then spent, I guess, a bit more time kind of honing things with you and really kind of working on how you're going to use your device and how you're going to be an amazing communicator with it.
Who was your person like make you want to be speech therapist?
Oh, so who was my inspiration to be a speech and language therapist? That's a really good question. So I guess I've worked at Treloar's. So Treloar's is a school, isn't it, for young people with physical disability. And I worked here before I was a speech and language therapist when I was quite young. And I worked in a different job where we followed the students through the day and worked on independent skills and things like worked in the dining room, and we worked in the residential houses, and we worked in the classrooms. And the thing that I saw making the biggest difference for the young people that I worked with at that time was communication. If they were able to talk about what they wanted, talk about what they needed, say what they thought, it made such a massive difference. And there were some amazing speech and language therapists working here back then, and actually some of them still work here today because they worked here for a really long time.
Who?
So Sally, who still works here, and Claire still works here, and Annika. All of them were speech and language therapists back. That would have been in about 1995. So a long time before you were born, I think. Is that right? Yeah. So yeah, and I thought it just seemed like such an interesting job, such a fun job, and also a job that made a really big difference to the young people who worked here. So I went away and I trained to be a speech and language therapist. Treloar sponsored me to go and do that, and then that took me 2 or 3 years, and then I came back, and on and off I've been working here ever since.
Where was university?
So I trained at a university called City University in London. There aren't that many places actually in the country where you can train to be a speech and language therapist. You have to either do a degree course or you can do it as a postgraduate. That's a little bit quicker. Or I think now you can do it as you can work at the same time.
how the old technology looked?
Oh, well, it was really, really different. If I think back to what things were like when I first started working here in about 1995, it was really, really different. Eye gaze didn't exist at that point. So your device works, you use it with your eyes, don't you? You access it by looking at the screen, and that technology didn't exist at all. So you had these really big communication devices that were really big and heavy and clunky. They had massive batteries, so they were really, really heavy. Some of them were so big that you couldn't even fit them on a wheelchair. They would have made the wheelchair topple over backwards if we'd have put them on because they were so heavy. And they were really different. They didn't have touch screens.
What about eye gaze?
Yeah, no, they didn't have eye gaze back in those days. I think eye gaze was invented, or well, I guess it was invented sort of in universities and things, but I think it began to be available sort of around the mid 2000s.
Oh. What is it?
What is eye gaze? So eye gaze is the technology that you use, isn't it, for your communication device? So there's lots of different kinds, but basically the way that it works is that you have your, is it okay if I point to it? You have your computer, and at the top of the computer there are some cameras, and the cameras track what you're doing with your eyes.
Oh. Mine. At the bottom.
Ah, okay. So yes, yours is it this little bit here? Yeah. So it tracks what your eyes are doing and follows them around. And then your eyes act a bit like a computer mouse, don't they? So you can look at the screen, and if you want to select something that's on the screen, you have to keep looking at it quite intently. And we call it like a dwell. You let your eyes dwell on it for maybe a second or a second and a half. And then if you do that, it will select whatever's on the screen. And people have different things on their screens. So you can either have maybe an alphabet if you want to spell words out, and you would select the letters one at a time. Or you might have symbols or pictures or different banks of words, and you build your message bit by bit, don't you, by selecting what you want with your eyes. Yeah, and you are really, really fast. You're a really fast eye gaze user. But I guess it still takes a lot of concentration and effort. Is it hard work? Yeah, and not everyone can do it, actually. Did you know that? No, so there's a lot of adults who might try to use eye gaze and who might find it too tricky.
Have you?
I have, and it's really, really hard because you have to concentrate so hard. What I found was when I was trying to build my sentence, I was trying to think about things, and I was trying to listen to people, and I was trying to select the words, and it's really easy to lose concentration in the middle of all of that, isn't it? You've got to be really, really skilled at what you're doing. So you've learnt this skill over years and years and years. And do you think you've got faster as you've got older?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it different?
Do you mean about different kinds of communication devices? Ah, there are loads, aren't there? You've probably got lots of friends here at college who've got different kinds of communication devices. So you use eye gaze, and there are loads of different eye gaze devices. There's big devices, there's small devices, there's devices where people use switches to access them. And there are loads of different kinds of switches, aren't there? Some people have head switches, some people have switches they use with their hands, some people access the screen directly with their fingers. Lots and lots of different ways, and also lots of different programs on the devices. So when somebody gets a device, we have to think really carefully about what kind of thing they're going to need, don't we? What kind of screen they need, what kind of access method they need, what kind of language program they need. So sometimes when people come to Treloar, a bit like you, they've done lots of exploring already. So you'd really explored your program, hadn't you? You'd found out where all the words were. And then I think we did a lot of work on developing language and thinking about how sentences go together, and yeah, lots and lots of language work. So it depends really. I think every student is a little bit different. When I get to know a new student, it's really important that I take the time to get to know them, to think about what their skills are, to think about what they want to say, because sometimes people have things to say that are very personal to them. I think it's really important that young people have the words that they want and not just the words that adults think that they might want. So we thought quite a lot, didn't we, about the words that you wanted on your device, words that were personal to you, and words that you could use with your friends, not just words for learning in the classroom, but words that you might use when you're being social with people.
How? Technology. Help.
So it makes such a big difference, doesn't it? Just having the right device for you. I think it just transforms things to have a device that you can use to say the words that you want to say. But it's not easy. It takes a lot of effort, doesn't it? And a lot of learning. And we have to make sure that individual people get the right devices, or the devices that are right for them.
Do you remember when I came to Treloar's?
I do. You were so young. Did you find that people understood what it was like to use AAC here?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of things helped, do you think?
No. Knowing. Not. Just. Me.
So knowing that there were other young people around who also use AAC, so you're in a community where lots of people use AAC.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure that makes a really big difference. Yeah. Do you think conversations are a little bit different when you're an AAC user?
Yes. How? Have. I. Yet. Good. Better.
As you've got older? Yeah, I mean, you've really grown into an amazing young woman, I would say. You came here when you were quite young, and you've always had a very cheeky sense of humour, Alex, but it's been such a privilege to watch you grow up and grow into the young woman that you are now. And just to see you such a part of everything. So you always have something to say, don't you? If we wander past each other in the corridor, you always will say hello and have a little bit of a cheeky conversation. Yeah, do you feel that that's changed a bit as you've got older here?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you feel more part of the community?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've noticed that too. That yeah, it's been lovely to see you grow up and develop and really be a part of things here. So how does it make you feel, Alex, having a greater way of communicating?
My communication device has changed my life. I used to feel lonely and frustrated, but my exit device helped me to express myself and have more independence.